Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in. It is 2:36 a.m. on June 19th, and I figured I will make a video because I'm just in disbelief that I can't believe people just like messing with people's head. Just messing with your mind, making you feel like this has always been a thing when it wasn't. And this Juneteenth, I have never, ever heard of Juneteenth until June 8th, when it was just something I just kept hearing. I was like, Juneteenth? I'm not going to look up this mess. I mean, I'm thinking somebody is misspeaking and just, like, it was hurting my head because it wasn't making any sense. And me and my sister have been talking about this for the past few days, about this Juneteenth. And so, a couple days ago, I had to ask my son if he heard of Juneteenth. I mean, even when I was in high school, no one mentioned high school, middle school, anything about a Juneteenth. So I asked my son, when he was in high school, because he just recently graduated, he graduated in 2019. I asked him, has any of his history teachers said anything about some Juneteenth? And he said no. And my son loves history. And he also likes to look up the most obscure nonsense on the face of the earth. Now, if he hasn't come across it, it ain't true. It's not real. It's fake news. It's fake everything. Even though it is, I'm reading on my tablet, it is a thing. It's a holiday in Texas, but it also somehow spread across the United States without a lot of us even knowing this. And that aside, I want to get back to my son. This kid looks up, like I said, the most obscure thing, and if he hasn't pulled it up, to me it's not real. And I was like, I'm going to ask my daughter because she thinks she knows everything. I mean, I was like, I know she's going to say she's heard of it because just to make herself seem like she's worldly, or she just reads up on every freaking thing that there could possibly be to read. And I was like, I know she's going to say she heard it. I know she's going to say it. And I called and asked her, have she heard of Juneteenth? And she was like, what? She was, Juneteenth. It's something nonsense they talking about on the news, and I'm thinking people getting on Donald Trump because he didn't say it right. I mean, I don't know what date they're talking about, but it's some Juneteenth mess they're talking about. Even though I didn't, this before I even looked it up at all. And she said no. She said it's don't even worry about it. It's not real. And even though she called me back after reading it up herself, and I told her to look it up anyways, and she was like, it's not real. Even though she read it. And it's just, she just said, don't pay too much mind to this because they're trying to, I don't know, I guess brainwash us. I don't know what they're trying to do. But I'm not going to let anybody convince me that this is something that's been talked about for forever. Now, if this was a holiday that was celebrated, because in this Wikipedia, I know a lot of people don't like Wikipedia, but I'm going to try to find another source to see what that says versus Wikipedia. But right now it's late and I really don't feel like it. This is something I'll have to do tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow, later today. And it's like a bunch of lies that I was reading right here. That celebration date celebration date to 1866, at first involving churches, church center community gatherings in Texas. It spread across the South and became more commercialized in the 1920s and 30s. After after centering on after centering on a food festival during the civil rights movement of the 1960s, it was eclipsed by the struggle for post-war civil rights, but grew in popularity again in the 1970s with a focus on African American freedom and arts. By the 21st century, Juneteenth celebrated in most major cities across the United States. No, it wasn't. And I don't care what anyone says. I don't care what major city they're talking about. This was not celebrated. Not at all. I lived in San Diego for 6 years. I had not heard anything about no Juneteenth. And I believe that's a major city. I was in Chicago. It probably was around that. No, it wasn't. Because my kids, we didn't go right after they got out of school. But I just never heard of it. There's nothing you could say that will tell you. There's nothing anyone could tell me that people were celebrating Juneteenth at all. I don't want to hear it. Now, and I was like, I gotta see if this date is in a calendar. And I searched this house. I had one calendar, and that was a 2019 calendar. I was like, this is the only one I got. And then I thought, oh, I got two planners, and I had to find those. And then I came across a calendar, and this calendar, Bayport Credit Union calendar, I went to June, and I don't know if you can see it, but there is no Juneteenth on this freaking calendar. Not at all. And that's 2008. I have a 2013 planner, monthly planner, and my God, I feel like Professor X, I don't think it's Professor X, Professor from Powerpuff Girls. And he couldn't even hold the phone because his hands were, I guess, too big or something. It was just real crazy that he wasn't able to pick up the Powerpuff Girls phone with his hands. Well, I guess because the Powerpuff Girls didn't have fingers and he had fingers, but he still couldn't. That was just ignorant. It was funny though. June 19th, and this thing here, and this is a 2013 weekly planner, and here is June, and there is nothing written at June 19th that says anything about Juneteenth. Okay, and 2018 calendar weekly planner, going to June. Maybe. Okay. June 19th. Nothing is written in the June 19th spot at all. If it's anything will be there, it will be written in this brown area. There's nothing saying anything about no Juneteenth. And my 2019, I don't know what that stain is, weekly planner. I'm going to June. Okay, June 19th. You should be able to see it somewhere. Yeah. It's there. It's in the June 2019 calendar. It's in this one. And I think this is just planned. Planned to be as if it was celebrated every year. And it wasn't. This is something new. It was planned so it was planned so that when this day came, 2020, it was going to be a big old mess over a big old mess. And we're witnessing this big old mess right now. So, I hate when people try to play with your mind by saying that this date has been celebrated when it wasn't. It was never in the freaking calendars. I have some old calendars. I hope I can find them. I know that I have them in my storage containers. I should have like 2 or 3. And it should be in the 1990 something. I should have one that's in 1990 something, late 90s. I'm going to do another video. Because June 10th is not in any calendar, and no one was celebrating because there's a lot of freaking people out here that have never heard of it. And like I said, if my son hasn't heard of it, it ain't true. So even though there's proof in here in Wikipedia that this is a date that slaves were freed in Texas, it's like 2.5 years after the Emancipation Proclamation, and something about in Texas, I guess they were slow in getting the news, and that's why they had their date for the Juneteenth thing in Texas. But it's like, don't play games. Don't play games with people's minds. People already messed up over this nonsense we got going on here on these streets. So I can't wait to do my other video with my other calendar. Oh, and my daughter has a calendar in her room. I took a picture of it, and it's a 2015 calendar, and Juneteenth is not written on that calendar. So these people need to stop it. They need to stop it immediatamente. Cease and desist this nonsense, because it's not funny, and stop playing with people's minds. So they know darn well this has never been celebrated, and those who think they know anything about it is lying. That's all I'm going to say. They want to make it seem like they are in the know of everything. It's like, I'm ahead of everybody. That's all it is. I mean, somehow they knew about that date or Juneteenth because some bull was going to happen in 2020. I don't know. But to find it in 2019, it was there, placed there to make you think that it's always been on the calendars. It has not always been in any calendar. And I wish I had kept my Chick-fil-A calendars. I know I threw those away. But the ones that I do have from San Diego, I know for a fact Juneteenth is not in there. And I didn't want this video to go this long anyways. But I'm going to end this video right here. If you like this video, hit like. If you want to share this video, share it. If you want to comment, please comment. Let me know if you heard of Juneteenth. Yeah. Just let me know if you heard of it. I mean, don't just say yeah because you just not heard of it. I want to know if you heard about Juneteenth back in the day. So, okay. I'm going to end it right here. You guys take care and have a great night. Bye-bye.